Stock Santa here. Let's talk about what would happen to the stock market under a Bernie Sanders style democratic socialism. Not Venezuelan style, but more of like a Nordic style. Oh man, come on, don't talk about this. People are gonna shred you in the comments. I'll talk about what I want. Get out of my room, mom. So economy first. We're gonna see the highest income earners, that is not you, we're gonna see their taxes go up. We're going to see corporate taxes also go up. We might even see some middle class taxes increase a little bit if we move towards like a Medicaid or Medicare for all sort of system. But think about the savings, right? You'd save on the health insurance, but your taxes might go up. It might turn out to be a wash. Maybe not. I don't know. You don't know. No one knows. Well, maybe someone knows, but I don't. What we see from this is government income goes up, disposable income goes down, and consumption kind of maybe levels out, right? The billionaires maybe won't be ordering so many mega yachts and having mega mansions built. So we might see a slowdown in those sectors, but the lower class people will rise up and they'll start spending a little bit more. Now, government spending is going to skyrocket, right? Universal healthcare, free public college, if we move in that direction, more social safety nets, better public schools. So household bankruptcies will fall. Workers will have more bargaining power, but labor costs might also increase. Hey man, there's pros and cons to everything in life, right? Now the effects on our economy could be twofold, right? Short-term and long-term. Short-term, there could be some uncertainties, there could be some market volatility, we could see GDP drag, we could see valuations get decreased. Long-term, it's kind of unknown because we've never done it here in the United States. But Nordic companies who have slower growth still have more economic participation, more upward mobility, and more productivity. Now, the biggest question we all want to know is what happens to the stock market? Well, if corporate taxes go up and labor costs go up, then earnings per share, they're going to go down. But relax for a second, right? Think of all the social safety nets we're going to get. Think of all the savings that we, the people, are going to get, right? There's going to be more equality in the world, more fairness in the world. So corporations might see a little bit of a drag. I'm not saying it's going to be the end of the world by any means, right? If we look at the stock market now with a 7 to 10% annual return, maybe it becomes, 5, 6, or 7% annual returns, which a lot of people are going to go, no, my retirement. But if we have more social safety nets, if housing becomes more affordable, if healthcare becomes more affordable, if pharmaceuticals become more affordable, all kind of balances out. And look, there are going to be some big winners and losers here, right? Like healthcare stocks are probably going to get hit pretty hard. Pharmaceutical stocks with price regulations, they're going to get hit pretty hard. Oil and gas with more regulations, they're going to get hit pretty hard. Banking and financial with more regulations and higher taxes, they're going to get hit pretty hard. Also, corporations who rely on cheap, affordable labor, they're going to have a hard time too. But there are going to be big winners too, right? There's always a trade-off. Renewable energy, infrastructure, public sector contractors, they'll all see a boost. And of course, technology always does well. And we can't forget about consumer staples, right? Because no matter what's going on in the world, you're going to need diapers, you're going to need toothpaste, you're going to need, heartburn medicine or whatever people buy. I don't know. Let's talk about the stock market again and how it's going to react to this, right? These changes, if they were to all happen at once or, get rolled out pretty quickly, Wall Street hates uncertainties, right? We know that. Wall Street doesn't like unknowns. And this is a big unknown. And the first year or two, I would imagine there would be a ton of volatility, a ton of, speculation, fear. You turn on the news and the talking heads go, look what's happening in the markets. This is already failing. But then, as always, things would level off and we would get a new idea of the new world and the new kind of market, new expectations, and things would all kind of return to normal. We've seen this before when other countries like France and Sweden have rolled out their own versions of democratic socialism or labor protections or whatever. There's always been a spike of volatility and then it kind of levels off. Now the losers in this would be the billionaires, business owners, people with humongous stock portfolios like your boy Stock Santa, although I wouldn't be so worried about that, or people who are banking on our perpetual endless growth, which is not sustainable and is really dangerous, especially for our wallets and for the planet, as their only way for retirement. Right. Remember, if we get all these social safety nets, if more things become affordable or accessible to more people, we wouldn't need hyper endless perpetual growth to fund these things. And I know people are going to say we shouldn't be relying on larger governments, but in a purely utopian fantasy world, if these things could work and if the government could do these things and spend our tax dollars on things we wanted instead of stuff that we didn't agree with, we didn't want our money going overseas or whatever, it could work. We're just too chicken shit to try something new. And there are going to be winners here too. Low income families, low wage earners who suddenly get higher living wages, people with astronomical healthcare costs, students, families. That's most of us. Or people who value social safety nets over perpetual endless growth. We get stronger safety nets, more worker protections, lower inequality, all under this democratic socialism that everyone hates. And we also get more corporate taxes. Things get more equal, more stable, but there's slower growth, which ultimately might even benefit the planet too. And everyone would still be okay, even with lower returns, more regulations, and less endless, perpetual, rapid growth. I know this video is going to piss a lot of people off, and there's going to be a lot of this going on down there in the comments, but if you thought it was helpful or interesting, or maybe you learned something you didn't know, or you just don't like Stock Santa, hit that follow anyway, because I teach people how to invest for free. See you later.